had the chance to have a look at the 100 Thieves hands-on in this tournament so far. It worked, it got them to this point, but it certainly wasn't as clean as maybe we'd hope, but a pacey piece to come in with, Alex.
Yeah, looking too good for Steel. He's actually managed to get down the vents with the bomb. That is the dream start for a pistol. Getting that bomb to the lower site, and they've even got teammates behind him. I can't believe Steel's not dead. Liaz's shots just whistle past his ear and enables him to get the bomb down. Zeppa looking to close this gap. He's a very feisty young fragger, is Zeppa. Very impressed by what he can do, especially with that Glock. Starting with a bang is not on the cards tonight, for him at least. Steel is one of the few remaining players. My God, a flurry of frags for Jacob, Jacus, and all the ones in between. It is 100 Thieves to take the pistol.
Yeah, so earlier in the day, I was doing my prep work, I was watching my demos, and I was looking for all those goodies. In Chaos, when they took on Furia the other day, they actually used a strategy. It was a force buy that they were pulling out a bit of a fake towards the top site. They drop a smoke in front of the squeaky door, makes them think they're dropping down the vent and going for a lower split with a bit of pressure on that side of the map. So I'm excited to see if they go for the force buy here in the second. It's not going to be the strategy I was thinking, because an AK-47 going to be dropped into the hands of Zeppa. Now, Zeppa and Leaf are the two stars of this team. You check out the stats for this squad, they are towards the top of the scoreboard. So them having rifles in the hand, that's fantastic. Steel and Jonji also able to get some Galils in play, and then Vanity left with the Deagle. So this is a potent buy coming into round number 2. But utility, that's a problem.
Absolutely. It will come down to where they can put these Galils to work. Vanity, the only real sacrifice financially. This looks like a nice lineup. Could be heading in towards... I was going to say inner sight.
Yeah, just in front of Squeaky there, Alex. That's to make them think they...
That's the one.
Come out and potentially drop down the vent. They have to be wary of that now.
He has on the jiggle. Start, Alex. He was pretty calm, pretty collected in the interview. Probably not so much now. A little bit of pressure, having to fall back away. Call for a little bit of support. Gratisfaction was there, but doesn't want to overly commit. Obviously, don't want to play into those rifles that are suddenly a little bit more threatening the second round. Not so easy, but Gratisfaction keeping calm and delivering. Leaf just floating to the ground as Zeppa is there straight back in, and the follow-up, that's not bad.
Yeah, he is a very, very spicy gamer, is Mr. Zeppa. Vanity with a chance and a freebie. What's Azza up to? Didn't anticipate the close corner. Maybe he assumed Jacob had him, but distracted by the Heaven presence, and not just distracted, but fragging. Destructive as well. Jonji gets himself a double, and it is the equalizer. Chaos, they force in and win it.
I'm laughing here, but it's because Jonji went ramp, through to ladder base, back around yard, and then through main. That's the longest way to potentially get to that position, but he makes it work, and they close that round out, and now it's the Thieves who are having to go with that force buy. And the Mag 7 that you were mentioning just the other day, Alex, is coming out in Jacob's hands yet again. So he is one of the top site players with Azza, and we're still unfamiliar as to why we see the Mag 7 coming in a little bit more than the Alligator, or that'd be the auto shotgun for those of you playing at home. Scout in Gratisfaction's hands again, so this one here, it's still on.
And Leaf flash, but descending. Doesn't have the bomb on his back, but has got a lot of space, and Jonji's just created even more. JKS gone.
Oh, now that's a reply. A little bit of a rebuttal. All right, Liaz. That's a big name to take down, I guess, if you're going to get anyone with a cheeky little...
Look at that.
Leaf's everywhere.
Leaf's
around the map.
That's the power of an early vent drop. You can see that pressure on the ramp player. Suddenly he has to be concerned about his booty, and, I mean, who isn't?
I've been doing squats lately.
Yeah, I've tried those goblet squats because there is no bar.
Oh, you've been using the kettlebell?
Like a big, you hold the dumbbell like a goblet. Precisely.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. My peach is not really enhancing in any way.
Alex, you already had one.
Oh, you did say I had some junk in my trunk the other day, Lauren.
You do have a wagon.
Thank you.
I don't know why that's...
I think I appreciate that.
You want to hit yourself to that one, Lauren? Or?
Don't tempt me.
Don't you dare.
It only taken to round 3 before we've really got the innuendo started here today.
Hey,
so.
they're saving their guns.
Okay, you're right. It is going to be a save here from the Thieves. And if they can hold on to these weapons, look, it's great. But we were speaking about this earlier in the week. The longer you hold on to these, the longer that you're allowed to do so. Sure, you get another bite of the cherry, you get another crack, you have another, I guess, more dangerous round up your sleeve. But the problem is, you're not going to get that full gun round out for some time. So you need to make these work. It can't be a round like that where you lose control, they're down the vent, Liaz maybe gets a deagle kill, then completely forgets that rotation is possible. They need to potentially be a little bit more aggressive, take the fight to Chaos in transition, and they need multi-frags, right? That's with these low-buy weapons. They're about surprise.
A bit of a dumb question.
Okay.
But as I said, I'm kind of coming back in on Nuke, and I just want to... Where does the bias lean? Let's say 2 even teams, like what's the normal walk away? What are you happy with on a T side these days?
I would say probably at the moment, considering how good teams have gotten on the T side, 9-6
with a
CT bias.
He's done it again.
That's very quick,
Straight
isn't it?
away. There's no contest. Where's the spray? Where's the molly? Where's anything? Couldn't contain it. Admittedly, of course, with just the Desert Eagle, JKS unable to weather that storm. But it does mean that Leaf has once again managed to sneak behind enemy lines, and that's going to force some CT rotations. Grat trying to be responsible for outside. It's JKS to get the info that there is some bodies there, and Grat does manage to at least find the head of one. A disadvantage then for Chaos, not with the weaponry, but with the numbers. And 2 already rotating in. If he can catch them on the swing, he'll stop them from digging their heels in. It's a wild spray.
It's not pretty, is it? That's not one you want to watch back, but it'll get the job done. But can they find that second player? Look at him, just looking below Azza. This could be huge for them as well. Bomb's over there. It's on Steel right now. Leaf. Oh, this discipline, Azza. That is stunning work from him. If he gets any more, that's great. He's put a bit of time to get the others around, but, well, they've let him down, and the old shotty is what's left. But I don't want to say a valiant attempt off that. I liked what Azza did.
It was an attempt. They had a crack here, but we might need to look at this vent dive we've been seeing happening time and time again. So we're going to look at it at the skybox. So watch this. Squeaky will get naded open, flash and molly straight into main, molly towards top hut, and down the vent he goes. So the reason that I want to focus on that, the main molly means no one can stop him coming in this way. The top of hut molly means if someone's dropped, they can't get him as he's dipping down the vent, and the flashes are great. So this is good stuff early from Chaos.
Are they going to have the util this time for the CT side? I see 2 mollies, so maybe they can at least put one down quickly enough. And he's still on the Mac 10, Alex.
Should get him far. He's actually just going to be making a beeline straight for the ramp, and it will be Liaz to receive, but with only a FAMAS, he can only do damage. That's all. Leaf has managed to find first blood again. That's not the first time. We're only 4 rounds in, and they descend to the low site like a plague, looking to spread onto those low site. JKS is trying to keep them at bay.
Oh, it's going to get hot.
Plague Doctor's here. JKS mask on, ready to go. He's got a couple bits of work to do, but they were down lower early. Those 2 are waiting for this one, but still on patrol over by ramp, trying to keep this safe. Outdone by Gratisfaction, and that could be a follow-up. No, John G stops it, but these guys are kind of playing it back up ramp. They've taken back some map control.
There's no kit in play, though. If 100 Thieves want to go for this, they need to be quick.
Oh, he would have killed Leaf if he went for it as well.
Safe call.
He's reserved, and it does look like the safe call. As they're being on secret, you can see Jacob so disconnected. He will be gifted an AK-47 express delivery. John G, the one to make that happen. We will see then the equalizer to an extent closing the gap. It's Thieves finding another tough one.
Yeah, and this is the problem, right? We were talking about those 4 spy rounds earlier. Sure, they had 2 cracks at it not that long ago, but that was a rifle round without all the goodies, and Liaz was completely overrun there at ramp, right? We already know that the M4A4 has a disadvantage versus the AK-47. It's going to take that shot to the head and then another one to anywhere else in the body to take them down. But he only had a FAMAS. And a lot of people, one of the guys in the server, one of my ex-teammates, Azza hated the FAMAS so much that he challenged me to a one-on-one and said, Chad, you use the FAMAS, I'll use any SMG, we'll play an aim map. And he's a much better player than I was, but he berated me in the server, making me look like a bit of a fool, and I still use the FAMAS from that point onwards. But my point here is, it's not a great gun, it's just cheap now. That's it.
Maybe Azza's going to have to do the old 1v1s again.
He did tidy up the spread at range.
A little bit.
You told me it was viable again. Have you been lying to me?
Okay, it is viable.
But maybe not as
good as an M4A4.
Which, believe it or not, makes sense.
The price, but the level of investment.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
A weapon that costs less than the M4 isn't as good as the M4. Yeah, Chad, he's here all week, folks.
He is.
They pay me for this, by the way.
We're all surprised.
Let's see how this one shapes up then, because it's time for the Thieves to try and crack this nut. They haven't got the full bike, preparing for round 7, but just some damage.
Ooh,
where's Azza's health gone? They have just been a lick of the flame. Donji for now has caught an opening again, and he's not going down fence, is he? Looks like Chaos have found something, and they want to exploit it, a gap. When there's no utility, when the weapons aren't flowing for the Thieves, low sight seems all too easy.
I'm getting a little nervous here. They're going to run this until it doesn't work, right? You just keep rinse repeating, and you know, maybe they get that answer back in. But Leafs, look at this adjustment. The man's in their head. He knows what they're going to try and do. The reaggress towards lobby's not going to have nothing. And Jacob, Liaz, we've got a deagle on Liaz and Jacob, well, maybe he can get some exits. But look at the cash on Vanity, for example. 7.8 on him. Leaf, 8.2. Obviously, the Mac Daddy running rounds just building up cash. But I'm a bit worried. At least Liaz does get a rifle out of this.
Well, it'll be the first full gun round that we're about to see, and what, we're going to be 7 rounds in. So next round is... they're still going to have enough to buy. It's not such a big deal if they lose these guys. The AKs are better than the M4, and that's cheaper than the M4.
Oh, no. He's only gone and done it.
Now, you guys were wondering how Azza lost all this HP, and with the technology that I don't know who, Anders, I guess my god has given us. Now check this out. So he drops off. He's the player near the hut. He's flash standing in the molly, flash standing in the molly. Oh, I'm burning, burning, burning. Hot Toes gets on out. So that's how he lost all that HP just there. Just a little bit blind, guys.
Right, well, it's actually entirely on his teammates' fault for not communicating that he was standing in the flame. It's not Azza's fault.
Never Azza.
And it's certainly not ideal.
Can we just appreciate for 1 second Steel's picture? Whenever we spectate him next, you get the little pop-up of his picture, it's kind of making me try not laugh every time I see it.
Has he got the moustache?
He's cashes out.
Between him and Grat.
It's quite a look. Orbs out though, Alex.
Yeah, and look at Vanity just swinging. That was so brave. That could be punished. He actually gets away with it. Liaz will claw it straight back onto Zeppa, but that was outrageous, and it seems that this round will be Chaos, living up to their organization's title, just charging on in initially. Vanity, unfortunately for him, has to work with just 11.
How did he get away with that?
Yeah, and it was...
Did he get away with it?
It was JKS that he took down, right? That's a massive scalp to take right there. But all in all, I loved the audacity of Steel just to peel out of Hut once he knew all that contact was being taken and 100 Thieves had to rotate around. This is very difficult to see Chaos getting back into this.
It's going to need a mistake, right?
Yeah, I mean, just taking stock. Grat's responsible for lower, and that makes sense. Your AWPer can just hold those corridors comfortably. And they're over towards the, as you can see, the top side. Liaz has got it on lock. He's in a prime position to keep track of any Hut walks, and eyes on main. And bye-bye Vanity. That's the bomb as well. He was trying to flush him out, but Grat holding the line aggressively, puts Leaf in a dire straight.
Wow.
Very quick reactions from Leaf.
Oh
it's a laser beam. My goodness. The Leaf-bladed battle axe slices through. And now just one remains. Mr. Gratisfaction flashes himself. It's not the grand finale he hoped, but a fantastic attempt all the same. Gratisfaction, a bit of sweat on the brow.
I'm nervous.
Does Bulbasaur have a move that's like something to do with leaves?
Get off the
I feel like I can...
Get off the internet.
Well, Pokemon's cool, Lauren. I don't know if you...
That was a
fan.
RuneScape reference I just made, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Leaf-bladed battle axe. It's, I think you use it in PvP. I watched some...
That flash was so close from Leaf, though. Like, did he... Did it actually get Grat? I don't think it did. He was blind himself. I mean, everything was right, though. He had the perfect idea. That terrifies me.
Yeah, he said... I mean, we talked about, you know, that everybody get the mass... en masse of professional Counter-Strike players just getting better, and you can see prime examples of that in the promising talent for tomorrow's Counter-Strike. At this point in time, Chaos, another disadvantage. Does look like Thieves have got their weapons flowing and are really starting to punish.
This is nice. They need to get a grip. We talk about mental with 100 Thieves a fair amount, and I'm sure that conversation could come around. For now, though, this is really nice. Stabilization, get it back, 5 alive would be perfect. Leaf and Zeppa, the last two to try and make something of it, but already HP so low for Zeppa, it does feel limited. But Leaf made a good, I guess, debatable point about that previous round. But JKS, if he starts popping off, he's such a player to watch. But we'll see. He's going walkabouts, and he might just get the timing right. Be able to clear Hut, clear Squeaky, clear Lobby. All right, where else can they be? Get ready on ramp.
So there's one called Worry Seed.
Oh, Christ.
Worry Seed.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know Bulbasaur
You can
had a
learn
Worry
that at level 30, apparently. But look,
I don't remember that.
this is the two kids who are leveling up at the moment in North America, getting a bit of flack on the internet, but they're definitely some youngsters to look out for. I wouldn't put it past them doing damage here with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, they want to cause some noise. And wow, Zeppa's voice is certainly audible. Great shots being hit, but unfortunately for them, again, an impossible set of circumstances. Bomb loose, perfect crossfires, good molly.
Great molly.
That will be leading to Liaz. Fortunately, nothing to convert. But 2 kills, keeping him honest. Jacob with a quad kill in that round after all the dust settles.
Okay, so money right now, if we just take a quick look, isn't fantastic for both teams. So Leaf will be able to drop an AK, Vanity can buy, Zeppa can do the same. So you will see Chaos buy into this one. But on the other side of things, 100 Thieves are going to have to drop some guns across. So they need to string at least another 1 or 2 together before they can really bottom out Chaos here.
This one's a bit alarming. Chaos got 6 T rounds in the game that they lost against 100 Thieves. The final score was 16-8. So it's not...
And that was with the coach.
Yeah, okay, sure. But that's not necessarily T-side rounds, not necessarily something to celebrate if their CT does get wobbly. But admittedly, as Chad has outlined, Steel was not present with the team. Pinch of salt, maybe even 2 pinches. John G with the Mac-10 copying Leaf, and it's worked out just as well. This low sight hit is a clear Achilles heel for the Thieves.
Wonder if they've been able to adjust anything quickly, or maybe John G not being on the rifle this time. Yeah, he's going to be found. But the pinch comes in. This looks like it was trying to pinch towards ramp, and it's worked out stunningly at that. JKS and Liaz rocking a hard place. Too many players coming in at the same time, almost like what Steel did at Hut towards the upper side. But now Steel, speaking of, on patrol here, making sure no one can come back down. And I don't think the money's good enough for the CTs to do much about this.
Yeah, this is lovely. I mean, Chaos, they've lost rounds, you know, the last two in concession. However, what was interesting to me is that as soon as they return to the low site, Chaos again finds success. There is an issue for the boys from 100 Thieves in containing that ramp push. Now, Chad, I thought that was a simple one. That's have a player watching it in what I heard players refer to as Nitro, just basically standing in the open, and someone holding the vent, Molotovs.
Yeah, but you could see JKS there was actually having to look at two different positions. Even though he had a player with him there to watch the lower bomb site, they were so quick. They're not doing the standard, let's get lower control and wait for the rotation. Let's get lower control and take the fight. So JKS and Azza over towards that ramp position were getting sandwiched. Justin had to come down to help deal with that Mac 10 player. And then by the time he had pivoted back in, the T's were already close. They were already ready for that rotation. They took him down. As soon as he falls, well, that's the site basically given up. And thus the savers had to come on through. And now we can see, look, another gun round will be on the board for 100 Thieves here because of that save. Utility behind the defuse kits to play with. But they're not able to hold on to their own map control, right? If you're losing players straight down the vent, you're getting pushed around by this rotation, you need to potentially get a bit more aggressive because they're currently all over you.
Look at this go from Leaf. This is aggressive. However, Jonji's babysitting hasn't quite gone to plan. A little bit of damage done. Jonji low, as is Leaf. Couldn't be lower as they're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Thriving in this chaos, it feels like, though. They're really setting the tempo, and I like that, and I do want that answer back from 100 Thieves, though. I want them to kind of bring a little bit of the boldness through, because they're leaving with these three players again, and you're going to be constantly left in this situation of, if we go for it, we might not have these going forward. We might be left in a worse scenario down the line, and there we have it. Chad, this is a little bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and they used the same opening execute that they did in the previous to get lower and split ramp, but this time they did it to make the CTs worry about having to rotate lower, but actually used yard. And with that, it caught JKS, I believe it was, who was covering off that main position. He was quick switching, right? He wasn't actually ready for that. So right now, the pace in which Chaos is setting can only be stopped by an individual stepping up with a multi-kill here, because this is what I love. This is what I talk about in terms of dictating pace and, you know, actually setting the tempo of the game. That is what Chaos are doing. Think about how quick this game is. I don't know how long we've been sitting here talking about it, but it feels like, what, 10 minutes? And we're already 10 rounds deep.
I will admit that when I was listening to the comms video today, a lot of the way Steel calls and communicates with his team is how you call and communicate with us.
Oh.
We're mucking around.
Okay, yeah.
Like he the same kind of, when you're trying really hard, the same kind of messaging, the same kind of angles. It is very, I'm not surprised that this is resonating with you at all.
Well, this is the type of Counter-Strike that we used to play 5 years ago, right? It was more tempo-based. It was more like forcing players around and having to second-guess with the rhythm of the game. You're not seeing defaults. You're not seeing them slowly pushing and prodding the CTs around. This is them running at them and forcing them to have to fight or rotate.
Do you think that's indicative that that's not within Chaos's wheelhouse, or is this a deliberate lean into that strength?
Well, they used a lot of these things against Furia as well, which are a chaotic team in themselves. So maybe it's just the playstyle that they like to start with, and they might slowly simmer down as the game goes on here. I wouldn't expect them to keep up this level of pace throughout the remainder of the half.
Like this, they're going for it again. Surely JKS is ready. He's got the shadow advantage. He should get both, but not today. That multi-kill does manage to get converted, and now it leans the Thieves' way. All onto Steel, the aforementioned leader. Doesn't really have a shout in this one, and Jacob confirms it. The Norwegian nade on the noggin.
You said multi-kills had to be a big factor. Jacob came up with 3 that time, but it seemed like they were a little bit more ready for that little bit of a split, that crunch they love to do here, these pressure plays.
So one of the things that happens is when you're dealing with fast plays time and time again, you need to stop getting caught with your nades out in transition. You're expecting them to play standard CS. You need to play heads-up Counter-Strike, right? And when you're playing heads-up CS, that's focusing on your crosshair. You're not too worried about the misdirection. You just need to make sure you can contain your part of the map, and your teammates, you need to trust that they can do exactly the same. So now let's see if we do have that pace change from Chaos. Once again, it's fast smokes towards Yard. They're doing the same. Nades over towards Squeaky Door just to draw that attention. And the Mac 10 in Jonji's hands, he could have afforded something a little bit more. He still has 1,500. So he wants to use the jumping accuracy and the speed with that.
Ooh,
take that lower control.
So this is going to be kind of the same thing that worked before. We talked about it. Whoa, not this time. Azza was ready for the secret presence, and now Grat can't back him up. Forced out of the line of sight, they will descend. They don't have the man advantage by any stretch, and Liaz can extend that even more.
And Liaz could probably do with this a bit of a confidence boost, holding this back. The boys now backing him up. Definitely spread enough of a rifle. Zepp has outdone him, though, so now a 2v4, but plenty of players towards the lower side. It's not going to be a comfortable plant, but Bombs down.
Decon. I like it from Steel. Very powerful position, very hard to fight it. And from the door, Zeppa will find another. They're coming from ramp Steel. You surely can't be taking a fight like that. That's so brave. JKS is in Decon. And now Zeppa, a 1v3, and he's looking pretty damn fierce. He could have a go. Wow. Gratisfaction will dig him out of that hole, but could you stop cutting it so close, Thieves?
Oh, there was a moment where that spray transfer lands onto Grap because he has the AWP, right? He'd missed the AWP shot, then have to probably pull out the pistol. JKS already low in that decomposition. That could have been a catastrophe right there. So they will hold on. Let's see if they'll be able to get a buy going, because we know with that plant and the way these last couple of rounds and the loss bonus has been building up for Chaos, they should still be able to get something on the board. Let's see if they go for that top set piece that I was talking about earlier. So you will see them loving to nade open Squeaky, limp that smoke just a little bit ahead of it to obscure the vision from Vent. A Molotov towards the top of hut, flashes through the windows, Molotov towards main. That's what it looks like right here with the nades that I'm seeing. Here's the top hut molly from Vanity. The flash will follow.
John G going for a balls-to-the-wall play, and it has just come up trumps for the Thieves. It's over as quick as it has begun. But that's closing in on the gap. But 7 for the T side of Chaos. Absolutely, certainly one better than the last time they met, but also a pretty damn good benchmark to set yourself for the defense.
That execute right there is the exact thing I put on Twitter today. It was one of the key highlights of why Chaos were able to break Furia early. They used it in their opening game. They were able to win a 4-spy round and then use it in gun rounds later in the piece. It is very, very good, and as I almost felt to the fact that Molotov was behind the CT vent. But Jacob bailing them out yet again. He is currently sitting on 15 frags, top of the scoreboard in the server. And now the game might just slow down to a regular pace here. Chaos have done their best at trying to use that crowbar. Might be time for some finesse.
And honestly, I quite like the fact that Chaos came in and played their game and applied it so well. I think pound for pound, we look at 100 Thieves as potentially the better squad, but it looks like an adjustment here. As I said, pacing certainly different, and Jacob, new spot altogether, still so unaware of this. Smoke just plumes in front, Jacob's denying everything. This is a great game from him.
Yeah, that's a nasty grouping. Straight through the smoke. He's going to get another one as well. Perfect play. He's only seen 1 of his 4 kills there from Jacob. That's phenomenal. Just shooting at their toes. He could see the boots. Very suspicious boots at that.
So going into the last round right here, Chaos, they don't have a lot of money to work with. You can see everybody there hovering 2K to 3.5, something along those lines. So the buy is going to be extremely hamstrung. And with that in play, maybe we'll see something like what they did on their original force buy round number 2, where they were able to bounce back after the pistol loss. And that was a lot more aim-based, right? Remember, they went through ramp. They were able to come all the way around ladder base. You had John G coming back in through main. Let's see if they do something a bit more pack-rolly like that. Actually, the utility suggests something different.
This is ambitious. The bomb's already down. Leaf with
We're
just a Tech 9. They keep finding this gap, I swear. 100 Thieves have got a lot to look at. JKS, however, finding one outside. This was supposed to be the second prong. If he can catch him before he descends, that holds weight. And bombs ticking. This could be 8.
It could. John G, a little surprised by that. I don't know how he's been caught off. Now it's just Leaf and Steel, and kind of awkward positioning, but Steel tries to make a go of it towards ramp. It's all on Leaf, and he can only do 1 step in the right direction. I'm going to be honest, though, Alex. I don't mind this scoreline.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed with that. Thieves happy to close the gap. Chaos happy to present 7 on the T side of Nuke. Will BRB with your second half.
That's how we know when we level up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. That's how we know when we level up.
Ooh. Yeah, I see no signals, no signs. Girl, you be tripping, no lies, nah. You said je ne sais pas. I flew in all the way for this. I'm not here to waste your time. I just can't give you vibes, you changed a bit. Girl, you mad teasing. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. She told me what the message is. Suddenly you with me now. You know what the message is. I be running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation. You're my mission, my grand prize. Catch my vision, no damn pride. Girl, you max easy. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. Then she told me take it easy. Yeah, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you with me now. You know what the message is. I be running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation. Feel good. Sometimes make you feel good. I just wanna talk, but you don't wanna listen. Tryna go far, but you got mixed feelings. So I'm finished. I'm on my way. Then you tell me you need it. Back in my space. Hey, yeah. How could I lie?
Third game, third day, and seeing more from the 100 Thieves. They did manage to turn it around. Gratis Faction giving us a little head bob in to that intro music. But a slew of rounds from the CT side of 100 Thieves got them to that 8-7 finish line. It was 5 that got them to that competitive second half start.
All right, well, look at all the utility right now on the Thieves here to kick this pistol round off. We've got 3 smokes, 3 flashes, a HE and a Molotov in play. So this one could be curious here. Squeaky Door looks like it's about to be blown open, and away we go.
Looks like a Julie's underhand nade plan. Steel, it was valiant. It has not been rewarded. Maybe Zeppa can pick up, more than just one perhaps. Jacob just eventually war of attrition for that one, and it will be clean on the last. Leaf a double from him. That puts the 8th on the board, getting off to the same start they had in that first half.
Jacob has 21 kills.
Yeah, very quiet 21.
Yeah.
He was playing that top site, so it was all of those like kind of brain dead hut 3 pieces. You know,
I know what you
what
mean.
I'm saying.
When they're coming out, you just have to be the turret, right? That's where RPK.
No one's looking at him, like he's looking down at them. They're clearing everything else.
As long as you avoid all the flashes and Molotovs and you're set up in a decent position in the top site, you should be good for at least 2. That's kind of the way that position should be working, but it will be the force buy from 100 Thieves, and once again, fast towards Squeaky. JKS for the vent dive. Is he going to make it? And he's under.
Okay, but look at this. I think Steel's considering a chase. Leaf's down there already with the MP9. 3 and make it 4 of the 100 Thieves descending down that ramp. So it will be a low sight hit. Let's see how well this works out for them. Leaf's prepared. That's the bomb. Oh, boy.
Where's everyone else?
Where's the rest? Where's the party? A little late behind him. They will scoop up the bomb and start to deploy their util. Anybody's game at this point.
Yeah, 40 CTs waiting. So they're all down here. This is nothing subtle, nothing new. So if the T's get away with this, it'd be very surprising. And it's not happening. Steel has said a big fat no to this one. And signed, sealed, and delivered by Zeppa. Nicely closed down the end. But yeah, no subtlety to that. And a little bit disjointed on ramp, potentially.
Did you see the difference there, though, between how 100 Thieves approached that and what we were seeing out of Chaos? Chaos winning lower control and then pushing towards ramp. They were foregoing the vent control and the rotation through secret. Whereas JKS, his job was to stop the rotation. Everybody else was meant to make the kills. But because Leaf, the ramp holder, didn't have to worry about any pressure from lower, it meant he could draw his attention towards that ramp position, get a kill, slow it down, and then JKS went down trying to deal with Steel. And now, well, it will be 100 Thieves on what is a bit of an eco. A couple of nades, a big chunk of damage. Vanity will finish off 1, and now it's just 2 Deagles, a Glock, and a P250 in play.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that scout from Vanity will see some more action. Certainly does get the action, but not the bloodshed. There's the 1-2 punch. Dunks him. Steel, bit of backspin on that one, I think.
Ooh. bombs under. They might get a plant here. This is good.
Yeah.
You have to suck around.
Run! Good job.
All right. Well, that's this round done.
Yeah.
I want to make some notes here, assuming Vanity holds on to this scout. He's going to probably play on the first gun round more towards top of ladder or ladder base, staying around that kind of area. I've also seen some moves in watching their demos. They do love to do Vanity and Leaf pushing ramp. You know, aggressively, we've seen that coming into meta a little bit more. The AWP will kind of be the protector. The rifle will push up on all the close angles, and they'll take control in that direction. But with these saved SMGs, maybe something even more aggressive than that. We could see maybe a bit of a hut or lobby push. We always love one of those crunches. This is a bonus round right here for Chaos. You don't normally see these so clean on the CT side.
Going in, straight in, gun barrel pressed to the temple of Liaz, and a second comes in as well.
Ramp push.
Yeah, it's worked out wonderfully. Leaf and Jonji have both been sent to an early grave. Vanity in prime position. He needs this. He needs it. Okay. He gets it at least. The bomb loose, though, and JKS can recover. Jacob losing his life. It's Zeppa to keep Chaos in this round with just a FAMAS. He's found 3.
Yeah, JKS, the 41 HP is a little limited, and these two need to set up, and they have no idea. They don't know he's here. I think JKS has a shot at this. He's waiting for that smoke to slightly dissipate, but it's going to take a second or two. They're so paranoid, but they're peeling away for now. JKS having the bomb gives him that mobility. He can play this how he wants. A minute on the board. He's got timing on his side.
I wonder if Zeppa and Steel at the call is just go sit heaven because they can get down ramp on lower call, so they can just walk around yard, safe as houses. This is such a safe call, but a smart one at that. It puts JKS in a box. He will be double peaked, main and heaven, on this retake. Right. He could even double peek from either side. Yeah, it looking good. Zeppa will mantle towards heaven, and now he is going to be really having to hit some sensational shots to win out on this one.
There's anyone who can do it, it's JKS, but they have played this right. Isolate Steel, where's the trade? It's a little oh, he's got him. He's just about got him, but there was a moment where it almost slipped away. But well played in the end, and I think what you said there, Alex, the safety of it all, the willingness to back away from the fight, to almost put it down for a second and then play it back together.
Yeah, it's strange there that JKS wasn't aware that it could have been coming through ladder. It was like the only place he didn't consider, right? So he smoked main, still had pushed through the smoke. There was the Molotov towards the vent. I guess because Zeppa was making the frags towards hut, potentially expecting some aggression coming through there, or somebody needing to have rotated towards that lower bomb site, not having both on standby for that top pincer. The plant, it facilitates another buy. Low utility on Azza and Liaz.
And I saw a community discussion about this, so maybe you can, help them out with this, because they've identified it too. Discussing Chaos in a 2v or XV1, there we go, that's how you communicate that. Yeah. In an XV1, they often let them have the plant and play retake with the remaining.
So it's the same concept as if you know the bomb's down, right? If you're the CTs and you're holding the bomb, well, they're going to clear all the regular spots that you would be holding that bomb from. Whereas if you give it to them, they have to spend more time looking for you. They need to still collect that. They have to clear all the close corners anyway. So a similar thought process, just the other way around. But it will be the limp out Squeaky with 4 players.
Zeppa's surely done for here. Yeah, nice quick headshot from JKS. And now comes the site plant. There is nothing for Chaos to do initially, but they have 2 from vents, make it 1. JKS is on a mad one. Good util usage, and already it looks like there's a save call to be made. Just accepting, cutting their losses, don't want to be throwing any money down the drain, and it certainly would feel like it with 5 T still standing.
That was a low util round that had all the utility. Ooh, hold up a second, this might get interesting still. Every kill matters at this point because of how close the money is. So Jacob thinking better of going for these fights, whereas Chaos, they got a bit more residual cash to work with here. They were happy to try and take a gun away, but Jacob continues his fragging form. 23 kills on the board, 102 points of ADR. Knows another one's down there. Molotov to contain, and that should be all she wrote.
I'm surprised Jacob was ready for that tiny little boost. Lovely shot, lovely breed, and this will be 9-11.
4 players creeping out Squeaky.
Silently contact top site.
You don't normally see that one happen. That's not something that we're looking for every day of the week, so quite the curious little maneuver right there, but it pays off.
It was so quick. I mean, this has been a very peculiar game of Nuke. I haven't seen any of the normal trimmings of a Nuke game.
It's quite refreshing, it feels.
Certainly.
I've enjoyed it. I think we're seeing a little bit more of 100 Thieves creativity at that. The gutsiness, the gall to go through that sort of Squeaky contact upper was quite nice. But a different look maybe this time around. Molly's galore. Jonji going to be pretty much kept tamed for now, ensuring that no one creeps around. But JKS has really come alive in these last couple of rounds, it feels. His form is starting to spike, but it looks like Vanity very much here dedicated to this spot with the AWP.
Oh, not gonna be happy with that one. JKS has got him trapped. Smoke from Steel reveals his hut position. Good wallbang as well. Vanity still in a spot of bother. Should be able to escape here. And he actually goes down the vent. An interesting choice for the rotate. It is the most effective and the most efficient, but often comes with a bit of a risk. Now Leaf's in trouble.
Let's see if he is. He's felt the presence. He's back to where he does have that AWP from Vanity down there as well. So maybe the safer aspect. A little bit careful and no one wraps around from ramp, but no, it is towards lower. And Vanity's ready on this. This little angle, looking for it, misses it. Leaf again trying to avoid immediate danger. Beautiful little bit of play on the first. Couldn't convert on towards Liaz.
Taking their time, not in a rush to get that bomb down. Jonji's lining up the most absurd of the wallbangs, and no plant in that spot just yet. It's going to be Liaz going for the save from Decon. Makes sense, but Vanity, you big boy! That's lovely. Going for a play like that takes balls. Now Jonji needs to find the conversion. It needs to be a multi, down to Steel for the clutch. 18 seconds, wins the duel on JKS. The molly could stop the retrieval. Jacob's going to have to plant. He has to plant wide. Can he find a safe spot? 10 seconds, he's trying to rot the clock. Jacob's going hunting. Steel knows it, closing the door. It could be enough for the plant to be safe. Steel, oh, it's all mind games. He thought the sound cue would be enough, but Jacob, a weathered veteran.
Why does it feel like Jacob's just got the pacing on this? Steel's trying to offset the timing, throw a little bit of a seed of doubt in the mind of Jacob, but his eyes, they're not leaving this doorway, and Steel's going to have to play it perfectly. He can't do it. Nicely done by Jake, and the guts on him to hold that plant down. I don't think Steel could have done much more, honestly, without, hindsight's 2020, but Jacob's having a game.
I mean, yeah, the fact that he disappeared from Decon, there wasn't anything that really Jacob had to worry about. He tucked himself into that corner. He knew there'd be a degree of a sound cue with that door to his right. He was safe as houses.
Yeah, and there's a timing on that, right? Because he would have heard Steel running around as well. So just keeping his eyes trained for as long as he knew he could. But the thing with Jacob, and something I want to push home here, is he's a European Counter-Strike player, right? I know he's been in North America for some time now, but the mentality of European Counter-Strike players going up against NA players, especially when it's not the Liquids or the EGs of the world, is I am individually better than all of these kids. And I think we're seeing a bit of that here today with the frags that he's putting down range. It will be the save coming in from Chaos. Upgraded pistols across the board. Other than Vanity, the AWP player will be holding on to that USP. Smoke in Jonji's hands, and okay, he's going to extinguish the Molotov here, going to try and creep on up and see if he can use it as a one-way. This is only going to stall them out into just above 1 minute, so unless the teammates can find some frags in the meantime, that $300 investment has gone to waste very quickly.
Yeah, and about time we started mentioning that 100 Thieves have got a bit of a tendency to fall flat and lose after losing a round like this, losing to the pistols, losing to the rounds they shouldn't. We've always talked about that being a chink in their mental game. And so do keep that in mind as these rounds get closer. Chaos have the chance to throw a spanner into the works. It will not be occurring just yet, it seems. Despite the man advantage, they're setting up for a perfect top take. And with only USPs, a HE, it's not going to be enough to get them across this finish line. This flank from Azza, it's going to be a massacre.
What a horrible surprise they're about to have. No one really positioned for this. Excuse me, why has this happened? As you just said, they lose these rounds, Alex, and now I'm seeing them potentially lose these rounds. I hate what I just saw. I hate everything of what I just saw.
Well, if you hate it, Lauren, imagine how I feel.
I am flabbergasted. It looks...
But Alex, you called it. They lose these rounds.
They have had a bit of an issue losing rounds like this, and it's happened again. Great shots across the board, of course, and it's teamwork, and that's getting the juices flowing. Big happy smiles on their faces. That's going to turn the tides of battle. There's no doubt about that.
I think I underestimated the power of Jonji's smoke there. I was saying, it might not do a lot because it would only keep them to a minute, but it forced them to go towards ladder as opposed to going towards lower. So straight into the trap that Thieves had laid. Chaos will take the timeout off the bat of that just to potentially talk about their success. You can see the buy coming on through, and there's even reserve cash for 3 players here. Vanity, Leaf, and Jonji have money in the back pocket, even if this one doesn't go their way. And on the other side of things, well, the Thieves, they're having to scrap together the best they can. Liaz, he's got the AK, still has 38.50 in the bank balance. Will buy the armor, the full set of utility here, so they're just working out what strategy they want to run. But if Thieves lose this one, They're going to be in a lot of trouble here. Chaos will be up to 13 rounds and looking to take that map number 1.
Typical exchange outside. You will see Azza descend, though. He's got behind the smokes, and so you know the mission of Azza. I don't need to explain it to you. It's going to be held back for now, though, by Leaf. So a standoff in the low site. Elsewhere, lobby being held, rather default from Thieves. This is what we didn't see from Chaos on their T side. So you can see the contrast becomes more apparent now.
It's real patience being shown, isn't it? It's a very slow affair. The only real contact they've had is with Azza.
I think he might try and go up the vents here, Lauren.
The deep smoke from Steel. I have a horrible feeling he's going to try and go through it. He's found him just enough. He can see JKS's shoelaces. He told him to do him up.
Oh no, and he's staying around for more. He's going to get Liaz here.
Think? No, Liaz is staring. No, he's not. He's not looking at the smoke. He gets the bomb info too. Steel, that's a crazy play. And now with Jonji finding Grat, it does put Azza into Jacob into a rather dire strait. There's another. Jonji continuing to add to the tally. Here's a third and a 13th for Chaos Esports Club.
Confident Counter-Strike is what we're seeing from Chaos right now. They've identified, obviously, some of these little tendencies or the little footholds that the Thieves fall into in certain rounds, and that from Steel is exploiting exactly that. That's so premeditated, what he's just gone for there. And the fact that the in-game leader is making a play, disrupting play along those lines, well, now the Thieves, look at this. They've been left money in the bin, a force buy on the cards. It's just a half buy across the board. They're keeping enough to make sure they can afford in the next, but pace has to be the option when you have Tech 9s in play.
Say it should be the option, and likely will be off the back of Azza's flash. Jumping across, but Vanity, he held the trigger. Good discipline there, and the incendiary will slow them down. They'll have to respect that. Sound cues to keep him guessing, and Jacob puts his head into the vice. Leaf's the one to spin it shut. Zapper another, and that is another on the board for Chaos. This has been quite a tale of unfortunate events for the Thieves. After losing that eco, it's been another 2 added to the pot. Now it's their turn to bite back. They will pull out the AKs, the full util, and I mean, the insight from you here, Chad, is the Thieves have got very few options left, very few rounds left to play with. What's the call? It has to be something from the A tier, the S tier book.
Yeah, the problem is they haven't been able to establish a pattern like what we saw from Chaos in the first half. Lots of smokes towards the front of Van. Is there misdirection, dropping Leaf down lower in the very early stages, punishing him in that regard? Well, they don't have that to fall back on here. They need to just go for the default spread, and as we can see, it's going to be the standard secret smokes. But Jonji, he's going to be hurt there. That Molotov, it made a sound.
Yeah, but they're not looking.
They have no idea. They're clueless. This could be like a dagger in the back. Steel's found JKS. It's Jonji. Goodbye, Jacob. Goodbye, Liaz. Azza trying to claw this back, but it looks like a lost cause.
I don't know what they can do about that one. That was just absolutely sneaky from Jonji, overcommitting into the warehouse. Azza and Greta's faction then. Hasn't worked out for them every time they arrive at this heaven position. Bomb in the grasp of Grat. Stepper's patrolling outside. He's doing a full, deep clean.
They're active as well, right? So combing the map like this means whatever Thieves, even if they wanted to wait for a rotation, you can't be expecting everywhere. You can see Grat looking left, right, center, and Zeppa takes him down. The bomb's dropped. Azza up top of heaven. 47 seconds left on the clock. No hope.
If you don't like, have we had a single timeout from 100 Thieves or anything?
Chaos called one after their eco win. That's the only one I can remember.
Hold up, we have this nifty tool that the Vlad's made for us. Let me do
Get
it.
the tools
yeah,
out.
there's 2 timeouts remaining for Thieves.
There we go. So if you're taking it at this point of the game anyway, it's too little
Beyond the
too
point.
late. Yeah, and that can be even reinforced by the fact that JKS has 3,500 in the bank balance, means it's a Galil at best.
They heard the sound cue though, Norin. You're not wrong.
I'm just curious if they thought it was someone of their own team maybe running through it, or kind of missed in... Clearly something was
Or
miscommunicated.
CS is a weird game and we heard the sound cue,
They
but it was only the first tick, and the first tick isn't audible to your enemies, and, you know, spaghetti code. That's also a possibility.
Yeah, and look, Aaron could have been yelling,
Have
"Go
calls
fast,
going on,
boys, we're
yeah.
rushing," and they just missed it all.
Oh no, JKS in potentially the last round of the first map, and he's just got caught with his knife out. Knife to a gunfight, all of that. It has not gone well.
Bish bash bosh. Do you reckon they got the salad on their burger, Alex, and the onions and the pickles?
Oh, they've got the bun, it's brioche, the sesame seeds.
The hot tamale sauce.
You wouldn't believe the tamale sauce.
They got the sweet potato fries on the side.
Ja, es ist Kartoffeln.
Oh.
Lecker. Mega. Vanity's looking, but I think he suspects this. Oh no, never mind. As I see him hit that right click, that was his demise. Equalized by Leaf.
Jacob's timing's pretty juicy, isn't
Jonji
it?
was looking for him as well. This is just a exchange of unlucky timings, yeah.
All right, Leaf, Zeppa, and Jonji trying to close this now. This is you don't want to get into that kind of end game scenario. You still got to feel the Thieves are the favorites in this, even though they're 10-15. So let's see if they can close, this one and maybe open up that book of the realms of possibility. But I like where these two are. They seem very aware. This could be it, Alex.
Certainly does look poised, as does Leaf. Smoked off.
Oh, it's missed.
Where did that go?
Just in front. Now they advance. Two will be going along that bridge, and actually just wildly spraying does manage to live and distract. Now Grat, given the responsibility of that plan, that's Jonji to stop. He won't be able to. Bomb does go down.
That's it.
He's done it.
And the frag elsewhere came from Zeppa, so Chaos Esports Club do manage to convert. They do it their way, and a big happy
Let's
face
go.